I'm recording this because I don't know if I'm going to make it. My name is Michael Harrow. It's December 19th, I think. My phone is dead. The car's buried in a snowbank about, 2 miles back, maybe 3. I was driving through Wyoming, taking the back roads to avoid traffic. Stupid. So stupid. The storm came out of nowhere. 1 minute I could see the road, the next, nothing. Just white. I tried to turn around. The wheels spun. Then the engine just died. I tried the radio. Nothing. Just static. I tried my phone. No signal. No battery. So I got out. I took the flashlight from the glove box. I started walking. The wind. God, the wind. It was like knives cutting through my jacket, through my skin. I thought I was gonna die out there. And then I saw it. A light. Not a house. Not a street lamp. A building. I started running toward it, stumbling through the snow. My legs were numb. I couldn't feel my fingers, but I kept going. And then I was standing in front of it. A train station. Not modern, not new. Old. Like something from the 1940s. Art Deco lettering above the entrance. Terminus station. It didn't make sense. There were no tracks nearby when I drove through. No town, no buildings, just forest and snow. But here it was. The door was unlocked. I pulled it open, and the warmth hit me. It was beautiful. The floors were marble, green and white, and that checkerboard pattern you see in old hotels. The walls were dark mahogany, polished, gleaming. They were benches, red leather, the kind that smell like old books and tobacco. And the radiator in the corner was hissing, steam rising. I could feel the heat from across the room. I closed the door behind me. The wind stopped. The howling, gone. Just silence and warmth. I looked around. Empty. No people, no staff, no passengers. Just me. I walked to the radiator, held my hands over it. My fingers started to burn as the feeling came back. I looked at the clock on the wall. Big brass hands, Roman numerals. 11:47. I waited. I don't know what I was waiting for. And maybe for someone to appear, maybe for the storm to stop. I just stood there, warming my hands. And then I heard it. A sound from the ticket booth. A scraping sound. Like wood on wood. I turned. The booth was in the corner. Frosted glass. A small circular window with brass grate. And there was someone inside. I walked over. "Hello?" I said. My voice sounded too loud. It echoed. The figure didn't respond. I leaned closer to the window. He was wearing a uniform, dark blue, brass buttons, a peaked cap, but he wasn't moving. Not at all. He was just sitting there, facing forward, hands on the counter. "Excuse me," I said. "I need help. My car broke down. Is there a phone I can use?" Nothing. Then, movement. His hand moved. Slowly. Mechanically. He slid something across the counter, through the window. A ticket. I picked it up. Heavy cardstock. Embossed lettering. Gold trim. Terminus station. One way. Depart. 11:52 p.m. "Where does it go?" I asked. The figure didn't answer. He just sat there. I leaned closer to the glass. And then I saw. He wasn't real. The uniform was there. The cap, the gloves. But there was nothing inside. It was empty. I stepped back. What the hell? And then I heard it. A sound. Low. Deep. A train whistle. I turned to the window. The snow outside was rising. fast. It was already halfway up the glass. And in the distance, a light. Getting closer. The train. It was huge. A steam engine. Black iron. Chrome accents. The kind you see in old photographs. It rolled into the station slowly. Wheels as tall as a man. Steam hissing from the pistons. The whistle blew again. Low. Mournful. And then it stopped. I waited. The doors would open. Passengers would get off. A conductor would step out. I waited. Nothing. The doors didn't open. No one got off. And then the lights started going out. One by one. Pop. 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 The warm golden glow. Fading. Darkness creeping in from the edges. I looked at the train. The windows were still glowing. Warm. Inviting. The doors opened. Slowly. Automatically. No one inside. Just light and warmth. The last lamp in the station went out.
I ran. I didn't think. I just ran to the train and climbed aboard. The doors closed behind me, and the train started moving. I stood there for a moment, catching my breath. It was warm, so warm. The car was beautiful. Red velvet seats, the kind that are deep and soft, the kind you sink into. Dark wood paneling on the walls, mahogany, polished until it gleamed. Brass fixtures, luggage racks, lamp holders, and the lamps, crystal, with warm bulbs that made everything glow. It smelled like coffee, leather, and wood polish. It smelled like comfort. I walked down the aisle. The train was moving. I could feel it, the gentle sway, the rhythmic clack-clack of the wheels on the tracks. But there was no one. Every seat was empty. I kept walking. I passed through a door into the next car, the dining car. Tables, white linen tablecloths, silver cutlery, crystal glasses, and food. Plates of food, still steaming. Roast beef, mashed potatoes, gravy, rolls, butter. A coffee pot on a burner. I could smell it. Rich, dark. I walked to a table, touched the plate. Warm. I looked around. No one. Who made this? Who served it? I poured myself a cup of coffee. It was perfect. Hot, strong, just bitter enough. I sat down. I was so tired. The warmth, food, the gentle rocking of the train. I could feel myself starting to relax, starting to drift. And then I looked out the window. The snow. It was moving too fast. Not like a train moving through a storm. Like we were falling. The white outside was a blur, a void. No trees, no ground, no sky. Just white. I stood up. I needed to find the conductor. I needed to find out where this train was going. I walked through the dining car, through the door at the far end. A sleeper car. Narrow hallway. Doors on both sides. Little brass numbers. I opened one. A bed. Made. Crisp white sheets. A pillow. A small sink in the corner. A lamp on a shelf. Everything perfect. Everything waiting for someone who would never come. I closed the door, kept walking, door after door, all the same, all empty. The hallway seemed to go on forever. And then I saw it, the dining car, again. I was back, but I hadn't turned around. I'd walked straight. I turned around, walked the other way, through the door, the passenger car, the same one I started in. I walked through it, through the door at the far end, dining car, again. The train was looping, the same cars, over and over. I started moving faster. Dining car, sleeper car, passenger car, dining car, sleeper car, passenger car, over and over. There was no front. There was no engine. Just the same 3 cars, forever. And then I saw him, at the end of the sleeper car, a figure, tall, thin, a conductor's uniform, dark blue, brass buttons, peaked cap, standing still, facing me. I walked toward him, slowly. "Hello?" I called out. He didn't respond. I got closer, closer, and then I saw. He wasn't there. The uniform was. The cap, the jacket, the pants, the gloves, but nothing inside. Just empty, hanging in the air. I reached out. My hand passed through. Nothing. Just air. The uniform stayed, floating, and then it moved. It turned, slowly, and walked away. I could hear footsteps, heavy, on the carpet, but there was nothing making them. Just the uniform, walking into the darkness at the end of the hall. I sat down. I didn't know what else to do. I sat in one of the red velvet seats, and I looked out the window. The white, the endless white. We were still moving, fast, too fast, but there was nothing outside. No ground, no sky, no landmarks, just the void. The train whistle blew, but it didn't sound like a whistle. It sounded like a scream. The lights started to dim, the warm golden glow fading, replaced by something else. Red, deep, dark red, like the light in a dark room, like the light before everything goes black. The shadows were moving in the corners, at the edges of my vision. Shapes, not people, not anything, just shapes. I looked down at the ticket in my hand. I hadn't really read it before, not carefully. One way, no return, fare paid in full. I should have read it. I should have asked where it was going, but I was cold and scared and desperate. And now I'm here. The train is still moving. I don't think it's ever going to stop. I don't think there is a destination. I think this is it. This is where I am now. I can see them now, in the white. Other trains, other passengers, all of us, going nowhere, forever.
Final awareness
The warmth
returning
is
briefly.
back.
Last
Seat
moment
is
of
soft.
clarity before
The
forgetting.
rocking is gentle.
Trying to leave.
It would be so easy to just close my eyes, to let it take me. If you find this recording, if you're ever lost in a storm, and you see a station, warm, inviting, perfect, keep walking. Don't go inside. Don't take the ticket, because the train that arrives empty doesn't stay that way for long.